Hey y'all, welcome to Struggle Nail Tech Volume 1. So, as you can see, I currently have on a dip powder set that I put on myself before, and now it's time to take it off. So, I'm using my Melody Susie drill, and I'm going to attempt to take this nonsense off my nails. So, I'm using a coarse drill bit with a safety tip to take off the gel polish that I have on, the gel top coat that I have on. And I'm also attempting to take down the bulk of the product off my nails so that when I go to soak it, I'll have less of a time soaking it because it's just less product on my hand. So that's what I'm doing right here. Okay, so now I have my Onyx Soak Off Pure Acetone. That's coconut flavored smells, whatever. So now we're just gonna pour this into my little dish that I have, and I'm going to soak my nails for a time, usually somewhere between like 10 to 15 minutes, and then I'll start the process of trying to gently help and assist the acetone with my drill. So what I do now is I'm using a coarse sanding band on my e-file, and I am taking down the product on my nail. So after I soak for 10 minutes, I go ahead and I take the sanding band and take off as much product as I can with the band without hitting my natural nail. And then I alternate in between soaking and taking the soft parts off with my drill. Okay, so now I have a fine sanding band on my drill, and what I'm doing is going over the new part of the nail close to the cuticle, and I'm filing down that area to rough it up so that when it's time for me to, so that the dip powder has something to adhere to, because if your nails are too slippery, then you'll have lifting from your dip powder, so you gotta file down those areas and rough them up a little bit so that the dip powder will adhere. Okay, now I'm taking a 180 grit nail file, and I am filing and shaping my nails just to make sure that you get a good shape on your nails before you do the dip powder, so you have to do less filing on the back end. So that's what I'm doing right here, and I'm also buffing the nail. Any areas that look like they have any shine on them, I'm trying to take it off so that I make sure that the dip powder adheres to the nails. So I'm going down the free edge of the nail and the side walls of the nail just to make sure that they're nice, sharp, and crisp. Okay, so now I'm taking my Kiss nail tips, and I am sizing up the nail on my pinky. I broke that nail a while ago, like really, really badly. So in order for it to look like the rest of the nails, I got to put a tip on it. So after I find my size, what I do is I go and take my file and I rough up the inside of it so that it will stick to my nail and won't have any lifting. So just use some regular old glue, put the tip on, and I use the Kiss nail glue, Kiss tip, and then I just go ahead and glue it to my finger, and then I'm ready to trim that nail down to match the rest of my nails, and then I go ahead and shape and file it, and then I'm ready to start dipping. Okay, so now I'm using my sanding band again on the fine one. And what I'm doing is I am just drilling down some of the bulk on that nail tip on the front side of my nail, just so that when I do the dip powder, it won't have a big hump on it. And then I'm also taking the shine off of the nail tip so that the dip powder will stick to it. And just kind of refining the that free edge, because sometimes with a nail file you don't get the ability to shape it properly. Okay, so here are the nails all nice and pretty with my little tip on, and now we're ready to dip. So I have this 3-part set that I picked up from one of my nail tech shops. I'm going to take the step 1, which is the nail bonder, and what basically that is like a primer that you put on your nails, so to make sure that the dip powder sticks. Just like you prime your walls, you got to prime your nails. I tried every pillow out there and nothing worked. 15 years ago, I invented my pillow. It took me 2 years to develop because I wanted. Okay, so here's step 2, which is the gel base, and then the polish that I'm using is Not Polish Boss Lady 135, and then I'm using Kiara Skies Clear Dip Powder. So this is just what the red powder looks like up close, and then I'm going to start dipping my nails. So I already dipped down my first hand, and basically what I'm doing is I am starting with the the gel, and I am starting about halfway down my nail, because what I'm trying to attempt to do is build up the apex of the nail, and I want to not have my nails be flat when I end up when I finish. So I start halfway down, I dip, then I let it sit for about 10 seconds, let it move on to the next nail, and then when I come back, before I start the next layer, I brush off all the excess powder, and then I start the process again by going a little bit further down the nail each time. Now, I do usually dip my nails somewhere between 3 to 4 times depending on the product. With the clear dip powder, you could probably get away with like 3 times just dipping, but with the glitter, sometimes you need to do at least three to maybe even 4 to get the opaqueness with some of the glitter. So it just kind of all depends. You kind of just have to judge it as you go along. Okay, now that we are all dipped, comes step 3. So what step 3 is the activator. And what the activator does is you brush it on each nail, and what it does is it goes ahead and it hardens the nail. It tells the dip powder that you're done dipping, and now it's time to harden up so we can shape and file. And you have to use this stuff pretty generously because it has to get through all the layers of dip powder that you just put down. So I usually do it 2 times, and then you let it sit for about 2 minutes, and then you are ready to shape and file. Okay, so here's the fun part. So now I'm back with my drill, and I have a coarse bit, a coarse sanding band on my drill, and now what I'm doing is I am sanding and trying to take the lumps and the bumps out of my nails. So I'll freely admit that this is where the struggle nail tech stuff comes in, because I am not good with this drill. I almost kill myself every time I use it. Like, I see my life flash before my eyes, and I almost injure myself every time I use it. So use with caution. Don't be speed racing to do this part of it, because it is dangerous. You can really like nick your cuticle or the sides of your finger, and trust me, I speak from experience, it hurts. It's not your friend. Okay, so that's what you do. So basically, I had, this is sped up, by the way, if you didn't notice. So I am moving very, very slow when I'm doing this process, because I don't want to kill myself. But basically what I'm attempting to do is I'm trying to get down around the cuticles, try to thin out that area. Then I'm going around the sides to thin the sides down, and then I'm just kind of rolling it from over the top of it to kind of smooth it out so that it looks like a smooth, seamless nail. Then I switch to the nail file to help smooth down the sides, because the sides can get a little bulky. So you want to start on the side walls, trying to like smooth it out, and then you want to kind of lay it at a 90-degree angle to kind of like roll it over the nail so it's a smooth area. But this is the more labor intensive part of doing dip powder, is the shaping and filing. That's why it's really important in the beginning to kind of shape the nail so that the dip powder knows where it's supposed to go and stay, and then you have less chance of like trying to file it down and do all that kind of work later. Okay, so I don't know where I lost the clip, but after you shape and file, you need to go back in with the activator just to make sure that the nails are hardened and that all of it is taken care of. So now I'm going to go in with this rosewood polish. It's a gel polish by D&D. Now, when I bought it, I thought it was black, but it's actually just a really, really deep red. But nonetheless, for what I need to use it for, it doesn't really make a difference whether it's black or red. So I just needed a dark, dark polish to put under, because I'm going to put mirror powder over it. So what I'm basically doing now is just polishing my pointer finger on my right hand and my ring finger on my left hand, and I'm getting both of those done so that I can put mirror powder over top. After I paint it, then I go with my mini LED lamp, and I cure it for about 30 to 60 seconds. I think it's 60 seconds. And I go ahead and cure my nail, and then I'm done. Shop online from the comfort of your couch and get your car with touchless delivery to keep you safe. And for even greater peace of mind, all Carvana cars come with a 7-day return policy. So if you need to keep moving, we're here for you. At Carvana, the safer way to buy a car. My time is thin, but so is my mom. It's been worn down to ugly, thin dress. Now there's Scott's Thicker Lawn, the 3-in-1 solution with a soil improver to strengthen roots, seed to fill in gaps, and fertilizer to feed. The result? Up to a 50% thicker lawn after just we are ready to play with the mirror powder. So what this basically is just a pigment that you can rub on your nails, and I usually do it with my finger because it's really easy. You just rub it on the dark polish until it fully covers the nail, and it has a mirror finish, and so it is so pretty. It's like magic when you watch it happen. But you just rub it on, and you rub it on real hard until it's fully covered, and then it's all done. You just coat that with some clear polish and you are done. You don't have to worry no more. Everything is good. So I did, but like again, my ring finger on one hand, and I did my pointer finger on the other hand. And so that's just to give me a little, a little dimension to my little struggle nail tutorials. Okay, so this is where his manicure went a little awry, okay, because I attempted to be fancy out here in these streets, and I was like, I was gonna put these little cuticle crystals on my nails, and so I pulled out my little tools, and I thought I was gonna be a for real nail tech, but I'm not gonna lie to y'all, and I'm gonna tell you about my real struggles. I put them damn crystals on. I went to bed and I woke up and all the crystals was in the bed because I did something wrong. So I'm just going to tell y'all the truth. I don't know what I did, but here we go. So I'm using um, Poochie's Nails Bling Gel and the gel polish. So what you're supposed to do is put the bling gel down first, and then you're supposed to put the top coat on over top of it, and then you're supposed to be able to, adhere your crystals. So then I take my little crystal katana and I pick up all my little crystals, little black Swarovski crystals, and I call myself putting them around my little cuticle and being cute, right? Yeah, it didn't work out so well. I mean, for the manicure and for this video purposes, it looked amazing. But like I said, the next day, baby, they wasn't there. They wasn't there. They was in the bed next to me, and I was picking them up and plucking them around. It was not cute. So we'll try again next time. But this time, it was an epic fail. Okay, so after we all done, we just stick it in the little lamp, let it cure, and we got cuticle crystals. So these are the products up close, the bling gel and the top coat. And so after I put all the crystals on, then I'm going to take the Poochie Snails top coat, and I'm going to top coat all of my nails that I don't have any top coat on at this point, which is basically all of the glitter nails. And then I'm going to stick it in this nail lamp, and then we all done, baby. Alrighty, and now we are all done. We done cleaned up the cuticles and whatnot, and we done wiped off everything and tried to look cute. So now we're gonna use this Pacifica Nourishing Coconut Cuticle Oil, and we're gonna put this all over our cuticles, and we so they can be nice and healthy and shiny, and so they look like something. So there we go. Rub the rest on your hands, and then that's it, y'all. I got Struggle Nail Tech successfully finished her nails, complete with cuticle crystals, even if they didn't last so long. But here we are. Thanks for watching. Check y'all later. Bye.